I feel guilty that I've participated and I played a role in taking us this far. I feel like I'm guilty of it, and I'm publicly repenting for it, because I feel like I should have, in the last, especially with Watercraft Journal, PWI. Well, you know what? PWI did the same thing. So I would say my whole career in personal watercraft is I should have been kicking against the softening of personal watercraft. I should have been fighting and being a vocal opponent to the softening of watercraft. That's how I feel. I feel like I've screwed up. I really feel like I've screwed up. And let me tell you why. Old runabouts. We're talking the 90s. Little 1-seater, 2-seaters. All right. STXs, STs, HXs, all the little guys, all the little 2-stroke runabouts. You fell over trying to get up on them. They rolled over. You swamped them. All right. They bobbed and wobbled, and they were sketchy. By the late 90s, early 2000s, they started to get a little bit longer, started to have deeper footwells, started to have better placement. Handlebars were a little bit higher, stuff like that. Then the 4-strokes came in, and they go, crap, we got to make these skis bigger because the 4-stroke's a heavier ski. We got to have more foam. We got to have more flotation. We got to compensate for the bigger engines, because a 2-stroke doesn't weigh a damn thing, guys. 2-stroke engines, you can deadlift a 2-stroke engine out of a ski by yourself, bent over on a workbench. It's not hard. All right. It's very, very easy. All right. There's no oil. I mean, the oil's in the gas. There's no oil. There's no coolant. Just pull the damn thing out. It's a little 2-stroke. Don't weigh nothing. All right. Then you get to the 4-strokes. Oh, 3-cylinder, 4-cylinder, 1812cc engine. Oh my gosh. Kawasaki to the Eaton supercharger. Oh my gosh. You start looking at these things, and a fully dressed Cowie is almost 200 pounds. Fully dressed Cowie 310 engine's over 200 pounds. Dude, that's a lot of gear. That's a big motor for a jet ski. 150 pounds, 180 pounds for a jet ski engine. Heavy motor. It's a heavy motor. So in order to compensate for those heavy engines, they had to make a bigger ski. Well, when you got to a bigger, when you make the ski bigger, it starts behaving differently. All right. The hull design that you had that worked really well 5 years ago on a lightweight 2-stroke is not going to carry over for a 4-stroke in the same 1-to-1 ratio. It's just not going to work. So they had to modify. They had to start reshaping hulls to make those skis work. All right. And it was a slog. It was a fight. Some of them worked. Some of them did not work. Some worked great. Some worked okay. And it was fine. All right. It was just growth. It was how it worked. But the big concern was hull design, and can we make these 4-strokes make power like a 2-stroke? Will it have the throttle response? Will it be quick? Will it have acceleration? Can we match the performance that we lost by going from 2 to 4-stroke? That was the number one concern. Once they bridged that gap, once we started supercharging, get the 255s and the 260s and the 300s, once we bridged that gap, that's when people said, okay, what else can we do? All right. And I'm telling you, back in 2006, 2007, people were already bitching that the skis were too big. All right. When the Ultra 250X came out, people were like, that thing is a freaking container ship. That thing's huge. And it remained one of the biggest skis, for the longest time. It was huge. All right. But here's the kicker. In the interim, in this process, engine management got better. Engine longevity got better. Things got better over time. They're improving over time. They don't want these skis to break. All right. They don't want them to fail. So they're making improvements. But what happens? Suddenly, we go from very easy to read analog gauges, dials, speedometer, tachometer, fuel gauge, oil pressure. For most cases, that's all you need. Well, fuel gauge, oil pressure, some idiot lights. All right. It's really what most people need. So we go from that to digital dashes. And now it's got to be a GPS speedometer. And now it's got to be, if I got a GPS speedometer, that means I got a GPS signal. Well, if I get a GPS signal, why can't I have GPS mapping? Okay, well, now we're going to pair up with Garmin, or we're going to pair up with Waves, or we're going to pair up with TomTom or whomever. And suddenly that ski's got to have all this other stuff. All right. And we also get into the conundrum of people going, well, this thing is so big and it's got so much storage that I'm going to take it on long rides. Okay, that's a great idea. But there are people taking tiny little 2-strokes out for long rides too. But suddenly those skis start getting really fancy seating and really fancy storage. And now we have a USB port for your phone. You can charge your phone because we know you're bringing your phone. So people are making USB port plugs that go in their Watercraft. Why don't we just make it from the factory? Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Well, if we're going to do that, why don't we have a waterproof case? Okay, well, let's make a sealed waterproof case for that. Oh, okay. And it starts to snowball. Okay, so 2008, 2009, CD comes out with brakes. And everyone's like, whoa. First couple of years, problematic. the IBR buckets, the IBR deploying engine and motors, there were some failures and there were some fixes and there were upgrades. And I think they're on the third or fourth edition of IBR. But IBR suddenly gave people brakes. All right. I remember when reverse buckets first showed up in the 90s. And people are like, dude, I don't need a reverse bucket. And then it's like, this doesn't have a reverse bucket. It's got to have a reverse. And then, you know what? I was talking to my wife about this with reverse. How much grief did I give Yamaha and Cowie for not having a braking system? Then 2015 came out and Yamaha came out with Ride, the braking system. And we compared Ride versus IBR. And some people like IBR more. Some people like Ride more. Okay, great. And then I sat there and I beat the tar out of Cowie for not having a brake system, even though I had their patents and I knew they had a brake. You guys got to have a brake system. I mean, I did articles where I'm like, this ski is perfect except for the fact it doesn't have brakes. I said that in one of them. I'm like, it's a perfect ski except that it doesn't have brakes. And that is a deal breaker. Okay. I was drinking the Kool-Aid. Honestly. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid because I'm sitting like, it's got to have brakes. It's got to have brakes. Oh my gosh, you're all going to die if you don't have brakes. I'm wrong. Because I just start thinking, I'm like, oh, I was a cheerleader cheering on this giant snowball turning into an avalanche. I did this. I'm to blame. And I'm really beside myself because I'm like, I feel that as of today, we've gone too far. I'm going to say it. As of today, we've gone too far.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging out. This clip was taken from our weekly podcast that we record here every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch the whole video, you can go to the Watercraft Journal's YouTube channel, go to playlists, and then click on live sessions. You're going to see it there. Otherwise, go ahead and leave a like, a comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow. And again, thanks again for watching our videos, and we hope to see you soon.